Hi everybody, it's Giselle from Kids Yoga Stories. I help teachers and parents make yoga and mindfulness fun and easy for children. And today I want to share with you a question that Danielle sent through recently. She says, I still doubt myself whether I can teach a rather unique audience. In this case, she works with adults with special needs. Some are in wheelchairs and others who can stand keep their shoes on. I have no control over the boundaries at the place I'm teaching to urge them to practice on barefoot on a clean mat. So we can relate to this in lots of different ways because many of us teaching yoga to children are also teaching to adults for both sides, but also you're working in situations, a lot of us are working with children with additional needs, either in a group or individually. And often we don't have control over the environment, the classroom, the space, and that kind of thing. So let's talk about this in two different ways. Really what's happening for Danielle, the question really is, she still doubts herself. She feels like she has no control. We hear this a lot in our community about confidence, not feeling like they're doing enough. Okay, so that's really about our own confidence. We have to believe in ourselves. And this is very common in this healing profession, the caring profession of being teachers and parents and caregivers. Okay, so let's think about that, about our own confidence. The second piece is, do we have the skills? Do we know enough about the situation, about who the audience is, to be able to present yoga and mindfulness as a way that will help them connect? So let's talk about those two things. I've written about this before in 4 steps to teaching kids yoga, and I'm going to add a link below this video so you can find out more and see it in written format. But really I talk about 4 different steps. The first one I suggest is let's be curious. What I mean by that is when you go into a new situation, it can be children who are typically developed or a mixture of children with additional needs or just a special needs group. Whoever shows up, whatever audience is in front of you, whatever population, whether there's 1 or 30 or depends what country, in lots of different situations. There is no one size fits all with kids yoga. And I deeply believe this, okay? And this is what I intend to do in all of the products, the yoga books, yoga cards, yoga resources, is provide you a stepping stone. I do not believe in giving you a full step-by-step lesson plan because every situation is completely different. So with this getting curious, this is for you to think about who's in front of me, who do I serve, what needs do they have, what space do I have, all of those things. So Danielle might say to herself, what does this space look like? Who am I working with? What is it about these adults? What do they need? What do they need? Okay, so just getting curious. You could be pondering on the weekend while you have a cup of tea, and that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I sat down and I was thinking about Danielle's question, and I'm sitting here with a cup of tea, sitting in front of our new aquarium. So take the time to be curious about your situation. The second step is about being creative. So being creative, thinking about all the different facets of yoga and mindfulness. What parts of those might be useful? Is it the breathing part? Is it karma yoga? Is it the physical postures? Do they need strength and flexibility? Do they need to move their bodies? Which part of the yoga and mindfulness practice is going to be the most useful? And guess what? It grounds in us. We must have our own practice. You know this, right? And you can feel the difference when you have your own practice. We know what comes from us and our enthusiasm. We can speak from, if I've been meditating this morning, if I have done my mantras or something, if there's a thread of yoga and mindfulness in my own practice, I feel more confident to share it because I know the benefits. I know it's going to make a difference, right? So it has to come from our own practice. The third thing is about being clear. So the first one was about being curious. Second one was about being creative. And the third one about being clear. Once you've thought about all the different practices in yoga, which one, get clear on what's going to make the biggest difference. So for Danielle, working with a population that have special needs, maybe breathing techniques are the most important thing. Maybe, right? Or maybe it's just adding some movement. Maybe they're sitting for long periods of time. Maybe they just need some movement. Let me give you a personal story. Recently, last week, I was with someone really, really close to me who's going through breast cancer treatment. It's devastating, I'm not gonna lie. Another story. She hasn't been able to move a lot. She has had a lot of effects from the breast cancer treatment. We sat on the couch. I didn't have to get out the chair yoga pose cards in that moment. I knew them, I've written them and they're at home. Those are in my toolkit, right? But I didn't have to have them with me. What we did is we just started moving. We just started breathing. We lifted our arms up. We bent forward. We connected and we used the practice in that moment. And guess what? It was transformational. Okay? She was able to move her body in ways she hadn't for a few weeks. She gained her own confidence back. Okay? This is yoga. This is about connecting with the people who we love and sharing the gift of yoga in lots of different ways that make sense. Okay? So that's the third one, about being clear. And the fourth one is be confident and calm. If you yourself are regulated, you yourself are confident, it's going to come through in your teaching. So Danielle, I have no doubt, I'm telling you, I have no doubt that you're going to be an amazing teacher and you're going to make a huge difference in the lives of these adults who need you. They need you. For them, I'm sure it's the best part of their day. And for all of you working with children in lots of different capacities, it is the best part of their day, even if it feels like you're out of control and it isn't, and they're not necessarily listening to you. I promise, keep going. Okay, keep going. The practice will show up. All right, hopefully that was helpful. Please leave us comments below. If you've got something else to add to Danielle's comments, I'll send that link again about the 4 steps. Be curious, be creative, be clear, and most importantly, be confident and calm. If you have any other questions, please email me at giselle@kidsyogastories.com. Join our newsletter, kidsyogastories.com, and you can hear more tips like this. And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. We are all in this together.